I'm Caitlin, and this is Book Chats. And today's Top 5 Wednesday is the top 5 most kick-butt characters, basically. I had the hardest time narrowing this down. There was a point at which I was like, well, maybe I can do 3 lists. Maybe I can do 5 real people, 5 male characters, and 5 female characters. And then I was like, no. Like, you have to do it the right way, Caitlin. So the only little exception I'm going to make is I have one character who I'm just going to honorably mention because I've talked about him in a previous top 5, the father of the Alexandre Dumas who wrote The Three Musketeers and the Count of Monte Cristo, and he is awesome. I read his biography, and it was like crazy, just totally crazy to see all the crazy things that he did and how totally kick butt he is. Also just the interesting kind of racial politics because he was half white and half black. But anyway, so I'm honorably mentioning him and referring you back to the previous video where I talked about him. That being said, character number 5 is Scarlett O'Hara from Gone with the Wind by Margaret Mitchell. So I know you're probably sitting there like, what? You don't have to like her, and you don't have to like her methods, and like, I honestly was definitely not a fan of when she stole her sister's hoe, but she is a survivor. She does what it takes. She is just like clawing through life. She is just a fascinating character, and she is definitely someone who does what it takes kind of get her way in life, and I think that kind of exemplifies some of the things that these kind of characters do. Number 4 is actually a real person. I hope that's okay. It's Roxanne Gay, and I specifically have read her book of essays, Bad Feminist. Basically, Roxanne Gay is awesome, and she makes competitive Scrabble sound super cool. Therefore, she's super kick butt. I would definitely recommend you check out her essay on competitive Scrabble or her other essays in Bad Feminist. I did consider several other real people, but Roxanne's the only one who made the list in the end. Character number 3 is Captain Blood from the eponymous Captain Blood. So this is like an old school naval adventure story. Basically, this character, he's this physician who ends up getting put on trial for being a traitor, and then he ends up getting shipped to the West Indies, I think, as a slave, and then he ends up kind of like escaping from that and becoming a pirate, and like basically it's this crazy swashbuckling adventure tale. This to me is kind of like the character definition of this trait. You know, he was written to be this way. He was written to be that character that everyone wants to be. It was a really entertaining read. I read it as part of a book club that I used to do. It's just a great adventure story, and if you like adventure stories, you should check out Captain Blood. Character number 2 is awesome, and she is Penryn from Angel Fall, or like the Penryn in the End of Days trilogy, because she's pretty awesome in all 3. Basically, this character, she super kicks butt and is like an awesome survivor and has this kind of survivalist attitude in a post-apocalyptic setting. And it's interesting just because it could easily have gone the way of like, she's so unrealistic and it's frustrating and why is she so great? But Susan E. kind of writes in justifications for some of the ways that she is so awesome and some of her like fighting skills and her paranoia. And then she gets a little help from some magical objects and some other things. And I just felt like as a character, she was just explained to me in a way that I so believed, and she came across as so believable. And that is really a testament to the way that Susan E. wrote her. And I loved this trilogy, and especially the action side of this trilogy, way more than I expected to going in. My number 1 kind of kick butt character is Helene from An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir. I can't go completely into detail about why she's so awesome because spoilers, but if you've read this book, you know that at the end you discover it's like crazy amazing. I love her character so much, and she is just tough as nails. She does what she has to do. She is this girl who has had to be better than all the boys through kind of her whole schooling to prove herself. And I just can't wait to see where she goes next. And my heart breaks for her. I can't talk about it without spoiling things. So just the decisions that she makes and has to make and where they might take her in the next book. Yeah, she's my number 1 girl. Let me know down below what characters you would add to this list, and if you've read any of the 5 books that I've mentioned and agree or disagree with my take on these characters / real people. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye!